Jaevon, you are the Celtics fan on this panel, so let's hear. What do you think this move does for the Celtics and all of their moves collectively throughout this offseason? Also getting Porzingis and now Jrue Holiday.
So a very new look team. You kind of look at it; it's totally different from what it was before. Um, I was listening to Bill Simmons podcast. He was saying that pretty much going back to the bubble team, that there are no, besides Jalen and Jason Tatum, there's nobody on that team remains now, because Marcus Smart was on that team and Time Lord was also on that team. They're now gone, so definitely love the look. We got Jrue Holiday. We basically got Marcus Smart on steroids, and just the way that he's kind of been looking, obviously been a champion, being able to defend the perimeter. And I think just with Jrue Holiday being added to this team, I think it's going to help. He's going to be that veteran presence.
The doctor ordered.
He's going to be the veteran presence in the locker room for those guys, to try and navigate their way to a championship. And now, I've mentioned the odds on FanDuel after Damian Lillard was traded to the Bucks. The Bucks were favored. It is now, I think the odds are even on, like, kind of knotted even for the Bucks and the Celtics to make it to to win the NBA Finals at the same odds. I think it's plus 300 for both of them now. So I think what we've done, I'm excited, and we have Porzingis. I don't know if Porzingis is going to be ready to start the season because he had a foot injury. So we'll see where that leads us, but I think we'll definitely be in contention for the number one seed. Usually we're always in that conversation. I know Shaun's kind of already mentioned about Miami Heat has usually been losers, kind of missing out on pretty much everything, that being Jrue Holiday and Damian Lillard, after he kind of wanted to force his way out to Miami, and he's doing welcome Miami on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, and ends up going to Milwaukee.
Butler.
So, emo Butler. We saw, his perm that he had. He was all emo, gothed out for media days today. So, I think we're gonna definitely be a team that can definitely get to the finals, get back to the finals, that is, and win it all this year.
Well, the Celtics, they basically swapped Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, and Grant Williams for Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday.
And I think we have some picks too.
Yep.
When you put it like that, it don't always sound that good, Shaun.
Well, when you look at the players that they traded out, and now the players that they've acquired, that's basically the brass tacks. And then you look at their playoff rotation. It's going to include Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, and Al Horford. And so, as this one guy on Twitter put it, at Nick Van Exit, I want to give him his props. He said, then the Celtics are hoping that they get one of two guys that are going to take a step, that include Lamar Stevens, Peyton Pritchard, O'Shea Brissett, Sam Hauser, Jordan Walsh.
So we're looking at Peyton Pritchard, to be honest.
So, I mean, I would just be a little concerned about the Celtics' depth, exactly. And to me, and thank you, Toddy. I'm glad that you're aware of that. And to me, the Celtics and the Bucks are now the clear two front runners in the East, just like Jaevon has already said, put out all the odds. Miami's always going to want to say something, and Philly's going to continue to do their thing in Philly without breaking through the wall that is the Boston Celtics. Anyways, the point is that I like what the Celtics have done, but like I said, I'm a little concerned about the depth. How are you feeling, Garry, to close us out here?
Well, the Boston Celtics had to do this, because if not, they were going to lose the East. Simple as that. I feel like I just said when Vaughn was talking, it's about what the doctor ordered. They would have been competitive versus the Giannis and the Bucks, just because you have Tatum and Brown as your duo. There's something to deal with. But since I wasn't here on me and Shaun were here on the pod when they had the breaking news podcast with Damian Lillard getting traded to the Bucks. That's right what the doctor orders. Well, I think I texted you guys and I want to repeat it. Shout out to the Bucks for really keeping Giannis which I love to see because, as a LeBron fan, Cleveland never did that for LeBron, and it could always been a different story with him if they would have just kept him and bring him some guys that he always was asking for. Instead, he had to put it in his own hands. So Giannis was pressing that play, saying that, if you didn't do this, basically I was going to leave because he wants to win championships, which every superstar, if your mantle and your legacy, quote unquote, is on the line, you should be putting that same pressure that you're receiving from everyone else to put, win rings right back at the front office, saying that, do you want to win? Do you want to win championships? Which is so surprising that every owner and the owner and every team wants to do. You would think that would be common sense, but it's not, because you know why? Due to your actions will show if you want to be a winning team. So shout out to them for doing that. Shout out to them for, keeping them happy, keeping them competing, keeping three dogs there. Basically, they kept Middleton, which is great for them. Obviously kept Giannis and also kept Brook Lopez. So, defensively, this is like the match made in heaven for Dame. I'm just so happy to see Dame. I know he wanted to go to Miami, whatever, but to be honest with you, this was a little bit better fit for him in terms of on the court, I feel like. Off the court, obviously, Miami might have been obviously a better lifestyle, even though, Dame has always come across, as he always said too, like underdog and, always been in the chill vibes and things of that nature. So maybe Miami would have not been the greatest thing for him, even though he is a, heat culture guy if you see it. But the Bucks made a splash move. I'm just glad to see these two guys go. I was watching literally, I know I asked you guys if we're going to talk about any NBA stuff because, I love the NBA. And I was listening to all the media day, listening to Durant, listening to everybody.
I got Goth Jimmy Butler right in front of me on the screen in front of me.
Jimmy.
Exactly. So I literally watched, all the interviews from Giannis today to not to Devin Booker. Yeah, I watched KD, and I just wanted to say I watched Dame. The Dame was the big one I wanted to watch. And, I'm happy, he's going to put his story out there that, when a team, because they always try to flip the fans on you, like, oh, he wanted to leave us. He wanted to burn his jersey. They're like, oh, he hated us. Like, no, I wanted to win. They didn't want to win no more. Obviously, what they did, they literally asked him to sit out, basically. They said, and, get a top pick and draft his replacement. So I'm happy that now they're doing what's best for them, I guess, even though he was so loyal. And they didn't want to make the moves, what the Bucks did for Giannis, and keep them winning. So, you know what? They're gonna have to deal with the consequences again. Obviously, the Bucks probably towards the end, of this direction, because they give away a lot of stuff and picks and things of that nature. But they're in competing now. I can't wait to watch this Bucks team. Can't wait to watch. Who can't root for this team? I don't understand. You can't root for this team. They're literally two guys that are just so lovable and hardworking, hard-nosed, don't want to get no drama, just want to do their thing, win and win right. One reason, real quick, why I think they're gonna do great today. I kept hearing, on paper we think they're good on paper thing, but we gotta go work it out. Literally, Giannis was like, things that teams don't, like super teams are made. Underrated factor of why LeBron and them usually wins because he sits down. He always has that Vegas pre-meeting. He has that, team, because no one has who has won really other than Durant when they had to create a super team, which that winning was already kind of created. No, nothing against Durant, but that the recipe was already created. You have to sit down with other superstars and really look at how are we not going to. We can't just go through the games. And, you have to go through the games to see what's going to happen, but you still have to go through like where are we going to make these changes and adjustments. You know what I'm saying? You'd rather do that beforehand. That's what Giannis was talking about. We're going to sit down and we're going to go. I don't want to go into 10 games and try to figure you out. I want to sit down. Where do you like the ball? Where do you want space? Those type of things just shows why he's a winner and why Dame deserves a championship. He's going to get one. And good luck. So, yeah, Jrue Holiday, they need to do this because if they didn't do this, it'd be really bad. So it's really cool that we're going to see Jrue Holiday probably go back into Bucks Nation and go stop the guy he was traded for, which is going to be great TV to watch because Dame even said today he is one of the best defenders, if the best perimeter defender in the league. So it's going to be cool. Those emotions going to be running high. And it's really cool to see Boston, we got unknowns with Porzingis, but they shaped it up. They needed to shake it up. We all were saying a lot. They needed to shake this thing up. It was a couple of years the same thing. So they upgraded, I feel like, in a way, even though when Shaun breaks it down, the whole package seems kind of what went in and went out. It doesn't really sound that good because of the depth, but they kind of got probably a little better offensively with Porzingis. If he's to be, obviously, I know Vaughn's got Tom Lord was really loved in Celtics land, so he's gone. But I feel like they kind of go up in that way, and even though they go down a little bit down defense, the collective defense will still be there. I feel like, and I think they're going to go up in terms of the Celtics are going to go up in obviously defense too as well. With they basically replaced Marcus Smart, and he's going to. I think Jrue Holiday is a better point guard and getting guys in position because that's literally what he's been doing with Middleton and Giannis the whole time. So this is both good for both teams. It's a trajectory I can't wait to see. I can't wait to book. I really hope this Bucks versus the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. That'd be popcorn to watch, and I got the Bucks, Vaughn. Say it right now.
All right.